where do you stand politically? Give us your political ideology.
Take a guess.
Okay, I can say anything I want.
Yeah, bro.
I can say anything I want.
At this point, I kind of don't care. I know what's going on. The Jews own our government, and I'm like, I don't know, the day-to-day stuff, I'm like, yeah, more bullshit. Like, oh, another white girl got stabbed to death? Of course she did. What do you expect? I do more comedy now, but for my politics, I just watch America First with Nick Fuentes.
Okay.
I consider myself a groyper. I follow Nick Fuentes, and I just get my opinions on him. When Charlie Kirk got assassinated,
that's what I was going to ask you next, yeah.
We put out some videos on that, but I'm kind of almost nervous to say certain things or have my own take. Sometimes I just wait to hear Nick's take to make sure I have the right take before I make videos, you know? So, yeah, I just go with what Nick says. I just defer all my political opinions to Nick Fuentes at this point. And, yeah, I'm America First. I wish that we had white Christian men running the country. It's unbelievable to me that we have a government that has a policy other than America First. How does that make any sense? We pay taxes, use our taxes to benefit the country that we live in.
That's his political take. We have taxes. Use the taxes to benefit the country we live in. Yeah. And I'm not trying to come out here and say I'm like the most politically savvy guy. I have the best political takes. That's not what I'm saying necessarily. But isn't that crazy? Isn't that a little crazy to be like, look, I have no opinions. I just go off of what this guy on the screen tells me. I wait for Nick Fuentes to come out and say something, and then I just agree with whatever he says. Man. Propagandists, man. They got it all, man. I'd love to be at that level. Yeah, just don't even listen to it. Just listen to me. Don't think about anything. I'll just tell you what to think, you fucking idiot. I just basically wait for Nick Fuentes to come on, and I just think about whatever he says. I say that's fine by me. That's like, dude, that's like cult. That's like a cult behavior, man. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Relegate all your critical thinking to me. I will do the reading. I will tell you what to think about. I mean, it's just Orwellian, man. I mean, look, like, here's the rub about Nick is that he said a lot of true things. He's opened the eyes to a lot of people, but to sit there and blindly follow what he says ad infinitum forever? Is there ever going to be a period in time where you're going to say, wait a minute, I don't know if I agree with that. Whoa. Because he said a lot of crazy shit. And there's shit that I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. But that means you have your own opinion on it. You might agree with him on a lot of shit. But to be like, I just wait for what he says, and then whatever he says, I'm like, yeah, that's good. That sounds good to me. Like, that's crazy, man. And there's such a problem with that because he doesn't fucking know you, dude. He doesn't know the intricacies of your life, my guy. What problems you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, what struggles you have. He can't give you a prescription for how to talk to your brother. Well, we've had a rocky relationship. Well, I'm just going to listen to Nick J. Fuentes, and he'll tell me how to act and how to be. Because it's not just politically, right? That's the thing is, like, it's not just politically. They've interwoven politics in society and your friendships and all these communities together. It's not just, okay, we're talking about policy on a country, on how we should go about, it's not just a piece of legislation. It's like, it's so pervasive to where now it's like the identity. People have co-opted it as their identity. Their politics is their identity. And we've seen this with people on the left nonstop. Like, everybody can see that. Like, okay, you are like a Marxist crazy person who has adopted all this ideology as who you are. You're no longer a civilian. You're like a soldier. It's like, no, but what do you actually think about this? What does the individual think about this? What do I think about this? And it's like, you really do have to take a step back and you go, I don't know. And it's okay to say I have no opinion too. That's another thing people need to be comfortable in saying. I don't have an opinion. I don't really fucking know. Well, we're going to tell you what opinion you should have. We're going to force you to have an opinion on this shit. It's nuanced with me. That's the thing. I don't think you should be like, oh yeah, dude, don't ever listen to these people. Don't ever listen to the talking heads ever. No, I mean, that's stupid. We're doing it right now. We're watching them. We listen to them from time to time. And they say things that are good. I don't disagree with that. But this weird, like, cult-like behavior, oh, yeah, I'm going to listen to everything. I'm going to listen to everything Alex Jones says. What? You're crazy. You're an insane person. And also, we have to think about the mimetic theory, too. René Girard's mimetic theory, which I made a video on not too long ago. You play into their desires, what they want. Desires don't just arise organically. Your desires are based off of what other people desire. And I think it goes even further than that. I think it's not just that you might desire something that they might desire, but I think it's also that you will put yourself in their position and make yourself more like that person. You will change your speech patterns. You will change the way you dress. You will change. Weird, man. I think that's where we're seeing that. And the thing is that if you fall into that at one point in time, and maybe they are an organic actor. What's to say that later down the line, they won't be an organic actor, which I think is what has happened with the MAGA movement, is that it might have been an organic thing to start, but now it's become totally co-opted by certain people. But you're going to fall into it and say, no, you follow that blindly, what they say blindly. That's scary stuff, man. That's propaganda 101. I think everyone needs role models / intellectual guides, but they should have 3 to 5 rather than 1. I think that you need to have people in your life, like physically, who know you. I think your family, and I understand there's a lot of people who come from broken families, they don't have that. And that's a problem. And I understand that's a problem. But you need to be able to find people, and this is why I encourage people to go to church, right? Find a spiritual father. Find somebody you can confess to, talk to them about your problems. And they can prescribe you things because they know you. They can guide you. You should find people who are close to you, friends, family, if you have them, and confide with them, because nobody really these people don't know you. Nick Fuentes doesn't know you. He's giving you a panacea, a general cure for everything, but trying to apply that to a particular instance in your life, how is that going to help? How is that going to work? That doesn't fly, man. You find out quickly that doesn't fly. So I don't know. It's a scary thing to think that the propaganda is this far, but I understand why. Like I said, people come from broken homes, broken places. Plus, they now think that authority structures like the mainstream media can't be trusted, and governmental figures for the most part can't be trusted. After blunder after blunder, 9/11, COVID, whatever. But I don't think that the solution to that is offsetting your thinking to somebody on the internet. Okay, that's a recipe for a disaster. That's even worse, because at least people 30, 40, 50 years ago, when they just had the mainstream media, there would be, I think, a level of disconnect. There would be a level of skepticism. But now people, I think, feel justified in saying, okay, well, because the mainstream media and these governmental figures aren't trustworthy, the people fighting against them must be. Dangerous level of propaganda there, because that is what happens a lot. The constructed counter to the problem is the solution. Problem, reaction, solution, right? It's all the same. And people don't seem to think about that. They just go, well, I know Nick got banned from every place, so he must be the one really fighting against the government. And maybe he is. Maybe he actually is justly fighting against this tyrannical regime. I don't know. But this crazy, cult-like behavior is too much. Too far. Politics has just become like a religion for people, man. And it's so nefarious because that's a man-made project. That's a man-made ideology that could be taken in a billion different directions.
We're not as angry as we could be. And I wish that people understood that. I wish they understood that we are grace personified, like in person. As 400 years, we could really have just burnt this whole place to the ground, and we are still fighting for a country that doesn't love us. So I think that we are grace personified in that we're not the violent people that they think we are. We don't have a history of violence. We have a history of violence done to us. We could have become what
this is the content.
You know that we could just stop giving you benefits and stop paying for your bullshit. Black people, there could come a day here where black people have
okay. I don't know what he's about to say, but that's not going to be TOS. Well, actually it is. He's on YouTube.
to get jobs again Think
Oh,
about
okay.
that.
Phew.
There could come a day here where
Phew.
we actually punish black people for committing crime. Think about that. We're all out of money and we're all out of patience. Wait till you see what happens when white people chimp out.
And it's the thing is that like she's retarded too. I get it. He's right in pointing out her retardation. But then this dude comes out, he trots out, well, I'll give you the counter to it, and I'll tell you exactly how it is. I'm going to scream the N-word on fucking Myron. Like, okay, dude, that's funny. Nick already did that. He was the first. But he's like, I'm going to do it even better. Sounds like Riley in National Treasure.
This is huge. Prison, huge.
Dude, it sounds just like him.
Delicious jams and jellies.
That sounds exactly like him. Holy shit, yo. Holy shit, dude. He's just a fucking nerd, bro. This guy's a nerd, and he's farming engagement with this bullshit. And Myram putting him on is like, dude, what? Like, I understand, like, bringing Nick on. Okay, Nick has skill. He has knowledge. He knows some shit, right? Nobody denies that. This guy is just coming on saying, yeah, I just basically follow what he says. Well, we already had that guy on. Why would we want you on then? But it is like, dude, I thought about the same thing. You know, I could have grifted so hard. You know, when I made this channel, I could have grifted so hard on this stupid right-wing slop, is what I call it. I could have just went out there and been like, what are the talking points? Okay, it's every single thing that's against what the woke retards have been saying the last 10 years. If I just say every single thing that's against that, well, then guess what? You can just farm fucking views. And that's what this guy does. And people are stupid as fuck, and they're like, oh, he's saying the real base things. Exactly, Tyler. I have no real opinions or capabilities of thinking for self, so I wait for another man to tell me what to think. Yeah, what? He waits for another man to insert his opinions into him. Honestly, I don't see the problem here. If you don't know how the government or politics work, then why not listen and learn from someone whose entire life is centered around it? When you're sick, you go to and listen to a doc. Because there's presuppositional spin on it, dude. Like, everybody is going to approach politics differently, first of all. There shouldn't be any presuppositional spin on your healthcare. But even that's everything is becoming political. It's your whole life now. The way you dress, the way you act, it's all political. You're all soldiers of politics. So even them saying like, oh yeah, we're going to differentiate here. We're going to say like, this is just politics and how the legal system works and how Congress works. It's like, that's not what it is though. The people are giving prescriptions about how to live. And clearly they're giving an implicit prescription on how to dress too. Look at him. He's dressed just like fucking Nick. He talks and acts just like him. Mimetic theory right in play right now. Rene Girard, I tip my hat to you, buddy. It's also in like a broader point here that like the fucking average normie needs to be involved in every fucking political thing also is something that's just like a waste of time and actually doesn't benefit your life all too much at all. Your day-to-day life like largely is unaffected by this shit. And there's no way for you to affect it either. But if you talk to somebody who's maybe close to you, somebody, a spiritual mentor, a father of some sort, a father figure, right? They might be able to help you. A friend, a family member, something, coworker even. They might be able to help you. They might be able to give you insights into things. No, but that would take work. That would take actual change, and that's too hard. That's too hard. I'd rather just sit on the internet and fucking bash women and minorities all day. Okay, dude. It's totally going to get you somewhere. Quite the opposite, honestly. Being super involved in politics like people are today create paranoia and schizophrenia, for real. Yeah, I mean, and it's a distraction, too. That's another thing, too, is like it really is. People, I think, are going to find out that they're going to have wasted their fucking lives on this shit. Like, they're going to find out when they're, like, older, 50, 60 years old, they're going to go, man, I should have actually been, like, doing anything else. I should have focused my time and energy into, like, building wealth or trying to find a wife or something. That's based. That's based. Yo, based moment. You just shut up and you listen to what the leader says. Based. Nah, I'm cool on that, dude. Sometimes you need to step back. For real, dude. People are like being psyoped. People are being psyoped. into falling in line with every fucking single take that a streamer says. It's because we don't have any, like, we don't have authority that we trust in. These people, I don't even know how many of them are actually religious. I have no idea. But, like, you don't trust in the authority of your church to help you through things? Like, no, we're going to trust in the authority of this talking head on the internet. Like, that's kind of weird. That's kind of like, isn't that defeating the purpose? You're putting politics almost, or I don't even, it's not even just politics. That's the thing, is that it's like also just like cultural analysis over your religion, which maybe if everybody was more engrossed in their religious prescriptions, society, culture would change. But people are instead engrossed in the political system, which is meant to just clog you up and waste your fucking time. And unless you have billions and billions of dollars, you really can't do anything to affect things. Humans are religious by nature. If they don't practice explicitly, they will do so unconsciously. Yeah. The kind of vacuum, the void, which Elon is absolutely spot on about, that is left from religion, will be filled with something else. Some people fill it with drugs and alcohol. Some people fill it with spending. They have $200,000 in credit card debt. Some people fill it with social interaction, sex. Some people fill it with politics. And I think a lot of people do, actually. More than I think people want to admit. A lot of people just fill that their religious hole with politics. And it's like, no, there's a reason why these things aren't synonymous. Religion and politics aren't the same thing. There's two separate things here. Symphonia, the church and the state. Those are two separate things, a dual-headed eagle. And most of the shit, like cultural shit, is like, they say like the state deals with man's bodies, the church deals with man's soul. A lot of this stuff is spiritual that we see. Like, a lot of the problems in our culture are just spiritual problems. Like we said, the overemphasis of people following politics and talking heads like this, that's a spiritual problem. You're not getting fulfilled spiritually elsewhere. So you look for it in these people. Richard Percival, because I have no opinion beyond what Nick says about it. This is literally what they want. This is what the State Department wants. They would love 300 million people with a mindset like that. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. That's a propagandist wet dream. Yeah, I'll tell you what to think. You fucking idiot. Custody of the mind helps with that. What does that even mean? Oh, controlling one's thoughts, imagination, and intellect. Yeah. No. Dude, that's so good you brought that up. I was thinking of, who was it? They said it was a Orthodox priest. He said he advises people to do the holy shrug. When they're thinking bad thoughts and bad thoughts come in, he says, I tell people to do the holy shrug, which is just, I had that thought. That was not good. I felt the inclination to drive head on into traffic, but I'm not gonna dwell on that any longer. Unironically, I've been doing that. That shit's actually helped. When crazy shit comes into my head, when the planes start to land, you just go, all right. I'm not gonna think about that anymore. That's some fucked up shit. So what? But that's the thing, is that they want you to sit there and dwell on it. They want you to think about it. Think about it all the time. Violence, anger, hatred. Look, Charlie Kirk's neck exploding. Should not have watched that. That was so bad for my soul, man. But that's what they want. That's what they want to see. They want people to be affected. They want people to be in an animalistic state with sexuality and violence. They want you to be on the fight or flight mode constantly, so then they can drag your fucking mind around the pavement. Yeah, you can't control everything that passes into your mind. You can only control what you allow to stay. So true. Or just one word, W, loyalty. Base take.
Based. Are you unironically racist? Based. Do your coworkers call you racist? Based. Do you say these things to drive degenerates and axe wound recipients into self-immolation? Based. Seethe. What's it like to have the match report and ban your accounts? Seethe. Does it make you want to take things in your own hands? Seethe. Why don't you make them pay? Fed. What's it like having federal agents contact you on Telegram posing as your future doomer trad wife? Fed. If you act on your hate, we can get a hotel. Fed. Do you reply with a picture of an autistic looking frog? Based. Within hate. Based. Why don't you say that 3 times? Within hate.
That's like what it is. That's what's happening. It's like mass programming for neuro-linguistic programming of these words, man. It's like, fuck, dude. Based. Based and red pilled. You're blue pilled. You're in the Matrix. I'm out of it, bitch. I'm fucking swerving in my McLaren. Drunk as fuck. Based and red pilled. You are a slave and a bum. It's crazy, man. Do you reply with a picture of an autistic looking frog? Based. I'm going to fucking reference this like all the time now, dude. Is this MK Ultra? Literally, yeah. Only if you take LSD first. Yeah, dude. I can't imagine that. Like, scrolling the timeline, scrolling the X timeline on LSD. Fuck. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You're going to regret it. This is a Cliff Notes to X mind control. That's literally exactly what it is. Future doomer tradwife. Base. Fed. Say it 3 times. That's so cope and seethe. Cope and seethe. Post a picture of an autistic looking frog. Based. And then people like unironically goes hard. They revel in the mind control. It's kind of sick. They revel in the stupidity and the mind control. You can't help those people, man. You got to just move on. Based.